I want to bring in now Samarth Srivastava, who's joining us live from Kathmandu in Nepal. Samarth, good evening. You've been traveling to several pockets of Kathmandu where Seema claimed that she had visited with Sachin. Tell us about all of the lies that you've really busted, or at least clearly needs more proof being provided by Seema, whether it's about her marriage or where she and Sachin spent the time together in a hotel.
See, it seems to be a big nexus if you talk about the Kathmandu case, if you talk about the Nepal nexus from where it all started. Firstly, Seema Haider from Sharjah entered this particular Nepal airport where she took a cab for that particular area, and then she got another bus and then she moved from Pokhara to Greater Noida. But things are not that simple, because when India Today TV reached that particular hotel where these both, that means Sachin and Seema Haider, stayed for around 7 days, there was no record whatsoever in the register. There was no mention of name, be it of Seema Haider or of that particular guy Sachin. When I asked the receptionist Ganesh out there, he clarified that they might have written their name with some other name, and also it is worth mentioning out here that no ID was taken from that hotel, though it is said in that particular locality of Kathmandu that because there's a complete nexus of a lot of hotels out there and they usually don't take IDs from Indians, so that has become a major escape point for the Seema Haider. And it was Sachin who firstly came at the hotel for the booking of the room, and later, a day after, Seema Haider came, and then they stayed for around 7 long days. And also receptionist told India Today TV that most of the time they remained inside the hotel and hardly they came out to move. Though Seema Haider was interested in the pubs and clubs of Nepal, but when receptionists and hotel guys claimed and informed her about the things that Indians used to get hurt in those particular areas, she denied going there, and later the duo stayed in that particular area for around 7 days. And that was not a day one thing, because it happened from 10th of March and later again in May.
There's another question here, Samarth.
Came again via this particular area from Nepal border.
That's the next question. You know, how did she enter from Nepal into India along the border? Did she get help from someone? Is that an aspect also that's being investigated and looked into?
See, that's the biggest point, how she entered, because if you talk about the checking points, she got the visa of Nepal when she entered Nepal, but she has no visa of India, because getting the visa from Pakistan from coming to India is not that easy thing in this area. So that's why it became very significant, and how Sachin helped Seema Haider to come across the border. The question also arises on the SSB, because UP ATS and UP police have also asked for the report from SSB, like how they crossed the Nepal border. Nepal border is around 450 kilometers, and how could it happen that no checking took place and a Pakistani national in the name of Seema Haider crossed from that UP border, be it from Gorakhpur, Maharajganj, Balrampur, Baraj, all these districts are aligned along the Indo-Nepal border, and from there she reached Greater Noida with a bus. So that's a bigger nexus, because we have to find out like how it's possible to cross the border where SSB is already stationed, because we can assume that she could have came Nepal with a proper visa and then she took a cab. That is quite easy thing. But when she took a bus from Pokhara for Greater Noida, then when that bus of Pokhara crossed the Indian border, was there no checkpoint? Was there no questioning from the passengers, like from where they have come from, which country, whatsoever? So
and
that
these are questions that clearly need to be answered, not just by Seema Haider, who's currently being questioned, but also with regards to what kind of security has been deployed along the Indo-Nepal border. That's so easy for a woman to cross over without having any proper documentation.